Good evening, everyone. You're watching Awaz News. I'm Kubra Ali, and I'll be taking you to top news across Canada. Torontonians shocked to see food prices from 2020 Food Basics flyer. Suspect charged with second-degree murder in stabbing death of 62-year-old Oshawa man. The beer store expands delivery offerings to 280 locations. Shooting at Brampton Hotel sends woman to hospital. Ontario man charged in fatal 2022 shooting in Surrey, British Columbia. Total chaos, Ontario colleges say cap on international student visas is causing upheaval. Toronto man accused of faking terminal illness to scam love interest out of $370,000. Those were the headlines, and now let's look into the details. A woman is in hospital after being found with gunshot wounds at a hotel in Brampton overnight. It happened at a hotel on Nexus Avenue in the area of Ebenezer and the Go Roads. Peel police said they were called to the hotel for a woman suffering gunshot wounds at around 2:50 a.m. Peel Regional Paramedic Services said they transported one woman to a trauma center in serious condition. She's expected to survive. It was not immediately clear if the incident happened inside or outside of the hotel. Yellow police tape could be seen around the front entrance in the lobby, and numerous police vehicles were on scene outside the hotel early Thursday. There is no suspect information so far, police said. Ontario can order beer from hundreds of more locations across the province. The beer store launched on DoorDash in December with 50 stores and just tacked on another 230 locations this month. Prior to DoorDash, the beer store offered home delivery, operated in-house with delivery fee of approximately $12. The beer store is eliminating the delivery fee on DoorDash until February 8 to promote the partnership. All pack sizes, including singles, 12s, and 24s, are available on DoorDash app or website. The beer store is the most convenient place to buy beer in Ontario, offering great value on wide selection of beers available. Roy Benin, president and Chief Executive Officer of the beer store, said in a news release Thursday. The beer store has enjoyed a decade-long deal with the province for exclusive rights to sell 12 and 24 packs of beer. But that deal, signed in 2015, is set to expire, and Ontario Premier Doug Ford announced plans to expand alcohol sales to corner stores and eliminate the cap on grocery stores and big box stores by 2026. Industry experts have said the beer store will be left in the past if it doesn't find a way to reinvent itself, or else it will become redundant. Ottawa's decision this month to cap the number of study permits for international students has already created total chaos for those hoping to come to Canada to get a post-secondary education, Ontario's public colleges say. In a statement released Thursday, Ontario Colleges, which represents the province's 24 publicly funded colleges, accused the federal government of failing to consult with educational institutions on the recently implemented changes, which they called rushed and damaging. The federal government's cap on study permits for international students is essentially a moratorium by stealth that is already causing significant and unnecessary upheaval for students, employers, and communities, the statement read. New visas will be capped at 364,000, a 35% decrease from the nearly 560,000 issued in 2023. Ottawa will also stop students in schools that follow a private-public model for assessing postgraduate work permits starting in September. The new restrictions were in response to a recent spike in international students in the country and concerns that some schools are accepting these students in droves simply to boost revenues while failing to deliver on housing needs and quality education. It also comes as the Liberals face increased pressure to do more to deal with the country's already strained housing market. The colleges also said a new requirement for a letter of attestation from the province has put student visa processing on hold, as the Ontario government has no process for generating such letters. Ontario colleges noted that key sectors of Ontario's labour market are filled by college graduates, including international students. The response from Ontario colleges comes just days after the Council of Ontario Universities spoke out about the cap, indicating that the new rules unfairly punish responsible institutions. The federal government needs to go back to the drawing board to better target their measures to go after the institutions that they should be going after. An Ontario resident has been charged in connection with a fatal shooting in Surrey, British Columbia, nearly 2 years ago. On Thursday, Surrey RCMP announced that they had arrested 23-year-old Yusuf Kontos early this week in Richmond Hill as the suspect in the February 8, 2022 shooting. According to police, they responded to the area of 168th Street and 104 Avenue and found Javraj Jabal and Jasmine Lindstrom inside a vehicle suffering from gunshot wounds. They were both taken to hospital, but Jabal died of his injuries. Police later determined that the shooting occurred a short distance away near an elementary school in the area of 170A Street and 102 Avenue. Kontos has been charged with first-degree murder and attempted murder. RCMP said he was a resident of Delta, British Columbia at the time of the shooting. Police in Durham have announced an arrest in connection with the death of a man earlier this week in Oshawa. On January 22nd at about 11:30 p.m., members of Durham Regional Police Services Central East Division were called to a home near Dean Avenue and Ritson Road South for reports of a disturbance. Police said officers found a 62-year-old man outside the residence suffering from obvious signs of trauma. The victim was taken to the local area hospital where he died of his injuries. An autopsy has confirmed that Stephen Turgeon of Oshawa was fatally stabbed. He is Durham Region's second murder victim of the year. Police said 2 suspects fled the area on foot, one of whom was located a short distance away and taken into custody without incident. Meanwhile, the second suspect remains at large. Tyler Stephen, 22, of Clarington, Ontario, is facing 1 count of second-degree murder. A flyer from a food basics store 4 years ago is causing a stir online after users noted the soaring cost of grocery items since then. The flyer from 2020 was shared to the Toronto Reddit board over the weekend, revealing prices as low as $2.99 per pound for chicken thighs and drumsticks, and deal for 2 1-liter container of chocolate milk for $3. Last January, a 5-pack of chicken breast from a Toronto Loblaws caught the eye of many shoppers for its nearly $12.25 per pound pricing. Over 200 people commented on the thread, seemingly gobsmacked that watermelon had recently cost less than $3 and that 2 bags of Doritos were on sale for $5. Some grocery shoppers who spoke with Awaz News shared their thoughts on the 4-year-old flyer, expressing how enticing the prices are and how they would likely buy more if items hovered at these costs nowadays. Sylvain Charbois, Senior Director of Dalhousie University's Agri-Food Analytics Lab, told Awaz News in an interview that looking back in time to see how food prices have wavered is important, but ultimately with inflation we should expect food prices to continue to rise. Charbois explained these manufacturers will pay grocers to carry their products and provide a list of suggested prices for each product. However, he adds, it's up to the grocer to decide what to do with that list. A Toronto man is accused of purporting to be terminally ill to defraud his love interest out of hundreds of thousands of dollars. Ontario Provincial Police said they received a complaint this month from an individual from southwestern Ontario who claimed to have lost about $370,000 in an alleged scam. Police added that the victim also told them that several items from the residence, including a vehicle, cash, and jewelry, were stolen. An investigation was launched into the allegations, and police further learned from the victim that they had been in a relationship with a man who allegedly claimed to be terminally ill and in need of money for medical treatment. The individual did not repay the money and then left their shared residence, the OPP alleged in a news release. On Wednesday, 37-year-old Christopher Landcop of Toronto was arrested and charged with 3 counts of fraud over $5,000 and 4 counts of theft over $5,000. Police said that he remains in custody and will appear in court in Windsor at a later date.
Thank you for tuning in. I'm Kubra Ali. I'll be back tomorrow, same time, same channel. Have a good night.